everyone, this is John from PokerVIP.com doing a new member review in the Back to Basics series. Today I'm reviewing Wolfman32. He is a stakes player of ours, playing 20NL, and today's on the BetVictor, which is part of the Microgaming Network. He's a really good player. He's actually someone I coached before moving him to become a stakes player. I had to beg him to get him on board. He had a lot of pre-flop leaks, mainly just like his positional opening stats, and playing from the blinds, which is obviously quite a big problem for a lot of people. So we'll be interested looking at that, and also just trying to pick up on anything he's doing that's really good, really bad, and just talking through all the big hands he plays. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, his name is Ben Jones on the forum. He's the singer, so check out his journey, listen to his songs. They are pretty incredible, so enjoy those and just follow his progress. And yeah, off we go. So far, just looking around, he's at 1 anonymous table, which is the top left, and then 3 regular tables. And the way I call the tables is top left is table 1, top right is table 2, bottom left is table 3, bottom right is table 4. King 2 here is just a fold. And like I said, this is the back to basics, so I'm not too worried about HUDs and stats and all the fancy bits of poker. Just taking it straight back to the beginning, and then as we progress, we'll just add in the more advanced concepts down the line. The 9-10 here, I feel like we can check. Betting isn't a must because we get put in a ton of bad spots on the turn, so we could go for a check call, or if it goes check check, we can lead any turn. Now we're turning our hand into a bluff. No, we're not. We're giving up by the looks of it. I think we could definitely bluff. I think it gets through. We'd have to bet 2 streets probably. But now he's shut down, he's just going to check fold, I imagine. We can be ahead sometimes, but I don't think we ever see a river here. Jack 2 suited on the button, yep, nice min raise. This definitely should be in our button open. And I'm going for a c-bet on this flop, around half pot. Nice play. It's got a little bit bigger. I don't think we need to go this big generally. I think we could go to like 45-50 cents. Seven, 8 off. I feel like we can make up the blind there. Actually, in fact, that 7-8 off bottom left is... This guy here is limped Staruto. He's not limped, sorry, he's blind posted. This guy's in the big blind, we're in the small blind. He's checked, so he's got no hand. He's totally given up already. Big blind is probably unlikely to have a hand because he posted money blind. So with 7-8 off, which is a hand that, can connect with a lot of flops post-flop, we should just be like 4xing it there and taking the pot down pre-flop, or at least having initiative going into the flop. I feel by folding we're just giving away a lot of action, a lot of money, sorry. Let's, just punish these guys for the blind and dead money, pick the pot up pre-flop. If one of them gets stubborn, a continuation bet can work a lot. And we understand that their range can't be that much because he blind posted and then he called, or the big blind overcalled and didn't 3-bet. So I feel that's a spot we've got to watch out for. Pocket 2s, I'm happy to open 4-handed. And I'm folding it to this 3-bet. If we were deeper, I'd call, but when we're 100 big blinds effective, we can start folding them deuces. A7 off here in the cut-off. It's borderline. I think we can open A7 off if the players behind us are not aggressive or, play well out of the blinds. But if they're aggressive behind us and put us in lots of tough spots, I think we can fold the A7 off. As you can see here. Jack Queen, once we peel pre and it goes check on the flop, I'm just going to go for value. I think his sizing there is great. 2/3, 3/4 of the pot. Let's get value of all his smaller pairs from draws or anything like that. Ace King here, yep, 3x blind v blind. We are playing three-handed here. Actually, sorry, four-handed. I didn't see that guy's name out. I'm just going to say we have to be careful that we're, table selecting as such. Really pushing our edges. Is it correct for us to ever sit around on a table where one's a short stack nit and the other one's a good reg? Probably not. There's probably a lot of better games out there. Okay, and Ben here, he's gone for the open with Ace King. He c-bet a Jack 6-4 rainbow, and then check call a 6 turn. I actually really like this play because the guy's like, he's repping, a Jack or similar. It's quite hard for him to have, so I don't actually mind that check call. And we're definitely assuming that an Ace or a King pretty much gives us the nuts. As it happened, the guy did have a Jack, which he weirdly checked back the river. I say weirdly, it's not the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely a spot for thin value. Ben's going to think here, and I'm not actually sure which way he's going to go. I feel like he's calling here because the guy has more Jack Queen, Jack 8, 7 8 kind of hands, so we can be ahead, and we could obviously hit the nuts here. I actually don't like the bet. We're in position, so we can see a river for free. Because we haven't got it in on the flop, it's really hard for us to rep like an overpair and a full house kind of hand, because a lot of people don't just call. However, versus a good player, I think we can bet, and I feel the reason that we bet here is it has paired, so 9-10 is not that valuable anymore. A 9 is not valuable anymore, and this guy could just have Jack Queen and fold. So if it's a guy who's not going to be check jamming a lot or really thinking about our play, then we should bet. If it's someone who is prone to check jamming or can kind of see through our hand, then I'd go for a check and see a free river, because a Jack is obviously, well, it's not obviously, but it's a great card for us unless he has a full house, and a King or a Queen can be the nuts as well. He has gone for the bet, and yep, perfectly worked. Well played, Ben. And his bet size I know was really good. I think he went like 360 into 520. I think that's all he needed to do. 9's on the button, just a nice min raise. And this is what we like to see, lots of playable hands in the video. Yeah, I go here to like 2. I don't feel like we need to go any bigger than 2. 180 would be fine as well. And we get an overcall, which is really nice for us. However, we do see a lot of aces, which sucks. And I'd actually like to go for a check here versus 2 opponents. And it basically just means we can get like turn and river value, because if we bet here, it can go fold-fold. If we bet, we can get called or raised by an ace. It's not often someone will hang on here with like 5s or 7s or 8s, because it's multi-way. So let's check, give our opponents a chance to bluff, and also let's go for value on the turn now. And I think his sizing needs to be like small, way smaller than 360. I think he needs to be like 220. Get these people to snap with their draws. And on this river, I am check folding. When we get 2 people calling that quickly for that amount of money, I'd be almost certain we're up against an ace. And if we're not up against an ace, let's give them the chance to bluff with their missed diamonds or clubs. And there's the problem, we've just got two folds. I feel like by betting, we get worse hands to fold, better hands to call. I don't think someone's going to show up there with an 8 or a 6 or pocket 9s. Just one of those spots where it's like, if we're value betting with kings, what we value betting versus. You know, that's the way to sort of think about that hand. What's worse that's going to call? I think the answer is pretty much nothing. Yeah, we're going to open up a new table here because he's getting no action. That's what happens when you are the Wolfman 32. Nobody wants to play the best. Seems like he cannot find a table with people playing, but 3 tables is fine for now. Pocket 9s in the cut-off, definitely an open. And certainly with ace king blind be blind. And then here I'm looking to 4-bet, get it in. I go to like 380 or €4, and call it off. He's looking at 440. I think this is a bit too big. 460. Wow, yeah. I don't think we need to go this big necessarily, especially versus this guy's stack size. Let's give him more of a chance to, ship it in. We run into the same hand, so it's going in no matter what, and we're guaranteed half the pot back. It's pretty annoying because I feel like we can win all that money pre-flop when he folds, and obviously we can get it in versus worse. Ben's obviously not the greatest table selector of all time, considering he's opened up the same table 3 times in a row now. Hell of a leak there, Ben. You've got to be better with the software than this, buddy. But straight in, and he weirdly then 3x's the button with ace king suited. I'd like to see a call here with a king 2 heads up. And it's a great flop for us. I'd like to see a check raise, or once it's gone check, I'd like to see a lead. Perfect play. And here I go for a bet again. I go for like 170, 160, and to just rep the straight, because I feel this guy just has pretty much nothing, and we can win that pot. I don't think the king high's got enough showdown, because when I say nothing, I think it's like 3rd or 4th pair, maybe a couple of ace highs. So I'd like to see a bet there, a bet on that kind of river. Yep, do 6, just mucking it. 5-6, just. I wonder why he's 3x in the button heads up. Maybe it's a bit of a strategy of his. I don't actually mind him calling the 3-bet here because it's for such a small amount and we're in position. And once we're getting like 10.5 to 1, we've got to call again. Definitely isolating this ace jack on table 3. 4x is perfect, well played, Ben. And now definitely giving up with the 5-6 off. He's not enjoying the heads up and he's found himself a full table. Once we get raised, we've got to just fold the ace jack. And I think calling's pretty bad. I think getting it in or 4-betting is no good either. So I think we've just got to fold that one. I think ace king we get it in. Ace queen suited is really close. like I was saying, Ben is a state player of ours. If you would like to be funded every single day to play poker, just apply. It's in the bottom right hand corner of the pokervip.com homepage. Apply here. Or you could also PM me on the forum itself, or just leave a message in the My Journey staking thread that I update daily. And I can get in touch. It's a really cool environment for learning. Yeah, you get full access to the site. You get put in a strategy group. You get videos like this made. Obviously, you get money every single day. And I think it's quite nice to be part of a team. There's always someone to talk to or spitball hands against. And obviously, just like the forum itself, you can post up a strategy hand, which any member can, and I'll direct our coaches towards it. So apply. We need more players. We've currently got 13. I want 25 by the end of the month. So I hope you can be part of those. Yeah, everything looking good so far. Not the greatest for a video when you see 7 deuce and king 4 offsuits everywhere, but I will reconfirm that these are all folds. I don't like opening the king 4 here blind v blind. We're actually opening versus the better sort of reg. Ben might know that he does fold a lot in the big blind, which could make it a grey open, but just watch out there who we're opening blind versus blind. You don't want to do it against someone who's going to 3-bet you relentlessly, outplay you post flop, and just really put you in tough situations with a hand like king 4. Here, yep, bomb with the flush. Go a bit bigger, like 240, 260, yep. Don't check. Oh, sorry, we did call, yeah, checking's fine. And here I'm raising to get it in. If this guy's got a flush that's better than ours, then so be it. But I actually believe this guy's got more like sets than 2 pairs, or combos like ace king with a diamond, or maybe even like ace jack with a diamond. So yeah, I think check jamming here, although he hasn't check jammed. I don't think we even need to jam. Like we could make it like 8, but check jamming is definitely fine. It might make our hand look a bit weaker. It's an interesting note to have on him that he pop bets folds on boards like that. Then you should be making these notes, buddy. The ace then suited there, I'd actually quite like a call. When someone 5x's it, I'm thinking they're a fish immediately and putting them on jacks or 10s, so we can outplay them way easier post flop. We also have a hand that makes a nuts and we're in position. Maybe that's a spot we can call. Sounds a little bit fishy because I'm not wanting him to call to hit an ace or to make a flush or a straight. I want him to call because he's in position. It is a good playable hand. And, who 5x's under the gun? Like, I just think this guy's got jacks. Kind of like the old school thinking, but we're about to find out. Because he isn't folding. And his hand is currently playing like an overpair, so... Let's see what he's got. He has 6s. Wow, even better. 5x's with 6s and calls off. Ben, that's another note you've got to take. Saruto 5x'd under the gun. Called on a 9-9 deuce queen versus the guy who 3-bet in pre-flop. A9 suited, definitely an open. Especially with this fishy guy in the big blind. It's a pretty good flop for us. We make second pair, loads of back doors, we can represent the ace. So I'd like to see about a €1, €1.10 bet here. He's checked back here. Not actually sure why he's checked back. I feel like we can just win that pot quite easily there. Now he's going to have to call because he's got a pair and a flush draw. And we're going to have to fold this river. I think a c-bet on the flops there is pretty mandatory. Yep, I like the 5-6 suited open here in mid position. Definitely a hand that we should be opening with. Queen 9, we can definitely defend, but I feel like when we're deep and versus what seems to be a really good player, we can actually start to fold these hands. We don't have to. I like peeling myself. It just depends how happy we are. And basically, he's gone here for a float with Queen High and a backdoor flush draw. I really like this play generally. Just maybe it's versus the wrong opponent. And I'm going for a value bet on this river. Just about a half pot. Yeah. The guy can definitely have a king and be checking back for a bit of pot control on the turn. But I think if we bet, we can get called by worse as well. Yeah, I like the 8-10 suited open here. Versus an aggressive opponent like Don, we can sometimes call, but folding's fine. I don't mind calling there in position sometimes. Five eight off here, I feel like we can fold, blind be blind. It is suited, so I understand the open. But I think we get put in this spot way too much, and we can't call. It's hard for us to 4-bet and be believed, so we kind of just got to fold. The Jack 4 suited open, yeah, I'm fine with that. I assume he thinks everyone behind him's tight. Just so happens we got 3-bet this time, but I feel like it's a solid open. And the ace 8 suit is definitely a button open. Nothing interesting happening. Come on, Ben, get some aces or something. I need to make this video exciting. It is one of those things when you watch a video you just want to see blood. You want to see the big pots and the big losses and the big wins. All the standard bits are pretty simple and obvious, but you know, going over them all and just recovering all the basics I think is always a solid thing to do. Here with the ace king, I'll probably just min raise or jam. Either way, I'm kind of happy with the situation. I want as much money in the pot as possible. If this guy's prone to calling off, then yeah, I'll ship it in. If he's not, actually, it's one of those really weird spots because you don't want to min raise and him to call on us to miss. So I actually really understand Ben's jam there. He kind of thinks, well, I make 6 big blinds if he folds, and if he calls, well, then I'm probably ahead. The 8-9 suited there, I feel that we need to be in this pot. We're deep, we're in position, and we've got a hand that, you know, plays well against pretty much any hand. I think calling's fine. I don't think we actually need to 3-bet that hand, so I think calling with 8-9 suited there in position, when we're deep, is a must. King Queen here, definitely fine folding. King Queen under the gun I think is fine to open. Then I'm going to fold everything else. He's gone for a fold here, that's really, really tight. I think we do need to be opening that hand. Nine three off makes it easy, that's a simple fold, same with the 8-10. Opening it in the cut-off's fine, but what I will say is, if he just looks at the players behind him, they're all actually pretty good. Maybe actually leave, I mean, yeah, do we want to hit this table? Table actually looks pretty tough, I don't know. Maybe that's the table we could leave and not be sad about it. Pocket 2 is just a fold. Calling out of position, we just get a check fold a turn. We're not going to win much because the guy's only got 50 big blinds. Nice, ace king up there. The 10-3 suited on table 1 we could actually call with. I like peeling from the big blind versus the small blind a lot because I feel like once we call the flop they give up the turn. Or a lot of the times they just give up the flop and we can bet and take it down. Bet sizing. Yeah, I mean maybe this is a bit too big, but I think he's doing it because the guy's a fish and he calls with whatever, so it's probably actually great sizing, but generally we can go 2.5 to 3x when we're in position. It's a really bad flop for us. It's a really tough spot actually. I feel like when we bet we kind of have to call a jam because obviously we can be up against, you know, straight draws. But yeah, I really like this check back. I think Ben's spot on. I feel like just checking this down, probably having the best hand at showdown, calling bluffs maybe, or betting, you know, an ace or a king on the river is fine. And I would actually, I mean, it's a really tough spot. What's the guy representing by betting this big? A straight, a 10, a full house? Would he bet an 8 here, a 9, 7s, 6s, 5s? I kind of feel like we have to make this call and see like king jack suited and king queen, maybe like ace queen. I feel like it's a really tough call because you don't want to do it versus a fish. I just don't believe him necessarily here. I think folding's fine because obviously we have to be right a hell of amount of times to make this call profitable. But just narrowing down this guy's range, like what's he really happily betting 280 with here? Let's see what Ben does. Call or fold, don't raise. I'm happy with either. Looks like he thought about it. Would have been really good for the video to see him call there. I think Ben wanted to, and he might have made that call if he wasn't on video actually. Will you guys just leave a comment of what you would do? Really interesting spot, I think. Queen 10 here has been check raised. He's thinking, well, my outs for the 9 are diminished. My queen outs because of the flush draw. Where am I at? What do I do? I think folding's fine. Absolutely fine. I didn't actually see what happened with this Jack Queen pre-flop. I assume he isolated and got 2 callers. So yeah, I'm definitely going for a c-bet and a king 7-4. I think his sizing is really good. I think he bets again here, like 380. Maybe actually more, like 440, 450, so he can jam the river. I either check fold or I bet to jam the river. So I go like 440, so we can set up a pot size river jam. He's gone for the give up, which I don't think is the worst thing ever. Up against a decent opponent by the looks of it, so he swallowed his pride and let it go. Okay, we're going to call it a video there. We're on the 30-minute mark. That was part 1 of Wolfman32's Back to Basics member review. Like I say, he's a stakes player. He's really good. I think he's going to improve. I think this video will help him pick up on a few bits. Also, if you want to become a stake player, please apply. I'd love to take more people on. And just really enjoy the PokerVIP.com site. This was John. Good luck at the tables, guys.